name is Chase Johnson. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and we have used C3 Group several times on some of our large loss commercials and our higher end residential for their appraisal services and their public adjusting services. Their knowledge of the market, of the ever-changing regulations, and their ability to create a very thorough estimate from an understanding of construction and the management of the project.
Happy Monday, Hail Stalkers. Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, sponsored by C3 Group and Merrill Law Group. Thanks to both of them for being our sponsors. Both of their pages are in the description below if you're watching us here on Facebook. Quite a bit of activity happened while we were away, excuse me, for the 4th of July. Don't worry, we obviously mapped all the storms that needed to be mapped. We just didn't get to do any live coverage, so we missed out on some 5-star coverage, but we'll talk about that in just a second. If you're having any trouble with the website, especially if you're in that Denver area, since we got our first couple of real legitimate storms the past 2 days, give us a call and we can set up a training with you guys, so that way you are squared away and know the website backwards and forwards to minimize any sort of frustrations. So, going to July 4th, we had a 4-star map in the Denver area, Parker, Highlands Ranch, and Littleton, Colorado. Up to 2-inch hail fell, about 182,000 homes impacted. We actually upgraded this after the fact. Since it was the 4th of July, we mapped most of it live, and then we had to go and look at things a little more in depth once we finished shooting off some fireworks and seeing that, yeah, there was actually some pretty big hail, so we upgraded this to a 4-star map for the July 4th storm, 4-star on the 4th, and that was not all that Denver had in store. This was on the 5th, the very next day. A lot of activity everywhere from just south of Colorado Springs all the way up to near Cheyenne, Wyoming. We had a lot of hail activity with that, a 5-star map. Black Forest, Louisville, Fort Collins, Colorado, up to tennis ball size hail. Looking like some of the best hail was definitely in Fort Collins and the Louisville, Lafayette area. Lots of at least golf ball size hail. Again, up to tennis ball size hail and a very high house count, 214,000, thanks to, in part, of a lot of storms happened. It was a pretty prolonged event. More classic for what we consider the Front Range area, where a storm goes and then fires off all these other storms and it just works its way all the way up I-25, and that's exactly what happened. So this was in a Black Forest. I believe this one was from Windsor, Colorado. And, oh God, I can't remember. I think this one was in one of the Fort Collins ones. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly. I remember this one when I think it's got the whiskey in there. So, again, both of those maps you can check out on hailtrace.com. A 4-star and a 5-star. And I hope you can probably check on our page as well the video that we did that Derek had with his 5-star pan shooting off a rocket. That was on Saturday. So forecast for today is looking like more northern plains activity, and yes, Denver is in the risk. I think this is a pretty low-end risk compared to previous days. It's looking a little more messy, more likely you're not going to see too much in the way of big hail, but if anything can stay isolated, get its act together, could see quarter, $half size hail, and a lot of it, 2% chance there for that Front Range. 2% for Billings, Montana. I think Montana will see more activity today, but probably not as large of hail as a couple areas yesterday. And also the fact that Billings is pretty small, Montana is very large. It's a needle and haystack situation. And finally, North Dakota probably has the best chance for hail. And again, another needle in the haystack situation. Bismarck's a pretty small town in a relatively large state filled with not a whole lot. So 5% chance, could see up to some 2-inch hail possible anywhere there in the orange. 5% as well for Rapid City. I think storms might form off the Black Hills and move in the general vicinity of Rapid City. All this will fire up after about 4 o'clock this evening and continue through the evening, probably well after sunset, which in the Northern Plains is after about 10 o'clock, so it should wind down around then. So maybe Denver will get another storm. Who knows? It is that time of year, and we finally locked into a pattern that's much more favorable for the front range. I got something in my throat there, guys. Here's that future radar for the Northern Plains. See the storms, again, forming this afternoon, this evening after about 4 or 5 o'clock, and kind of exploding up a lot of activity, probably quite a bit of wind with this once it all kind of congeals into a cluster of storms. but of course hail as well. A little further to the south, there's Denver right there. You see storms, but a little too much activity seems to be firing up. Doesn't look like too much strong convection, just a lot more showers and maybe weaker thunderstorms with that sub-severe hail possible. And that's why I'm keeping the chances a lot lower for the Denver area today. Going into tomorrow, kind of more of the same, shifting a little further to east. Looks like focus primarily on South Dakota, up to 2-inch hail possible anywhere in the orange. And lower end threat, I think only a few isolated storms will happen. A lot more just kind of rain will be lingering around, especially in Minnesota for tomorrow. But there's that chance for hail nonetheless on your Tuesday. Future radar shows, see, again, a lot of rain, especially in Minnesota for tomorrow. But all those southern stream storms here, those are the better chance of seeing larger hail, again, that closer to 2-inch hail, possibly as far south as Nebraska. So that's all we're really looking at for today and tomorrow. Make sure you follow us here on Facebook, hit See First. Yes, we were still posting on Facebook and everything, even though we weren't going live. Since we were on a holiday weekend, we were kind of the bare bones in terms of people available and working. But we got it all done for you, and we can make sure you check it out. If you hit See First, you won't miss when Derek's wearing a funny wig and launching rockets in the middle of rural Oklahoma to celebrate a 5-star map and celebrate America and whatnot. So do all that. Give us a call if you have any problems, any comments, questions, or concerns. You need some training with the website. It's 855-334-4245 right there on the screen. You can email us. You can visit our website. And of course, you can visit us on Instagram as well. Follow us there. We do posts fairly regularly on Instagram as well. Follow us on all the social medias. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow, 12 p.m. like we do every single day for our hail forecast. Have a great rest of your Monday, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.